Okay. Yeah, we had an unusual, I guess we need to Google again. I want to just talk about Larry Bartell for a minute. Larry, many of you in the room knew Larry. He's been very active in HGS. He tragically passed away a year ago, almost exactly a year ago. Larry had been a board member of HGS. He'd been treasurer of HGS. And he and his father, Denny Bartell and John Amoruso, who are both legendary geologists, had formed a company called Legends Exploration, appropriately named. And they received the AAPG, one of the most difficult awards to ever receive at AAPG. It was the Outstanding Explorer of the Year Award in 2011. That was for their discovery in East Texas of Bossier Field, which was named after John Amoruso. Larry was also unique in that he chaired 2 of our AAPG section meetings in the Gulf Coast, and we never let him forget how stupid can you be to do it twice, you know. He chaired the 2000 meeting and the 2015 meeting. I worked with him on both of those, and one thing that made those 2 conventions distinctive was we had a big emphasis on students and young professionals. So that was a prime driver of Larry's contributions to our profession. Well, about 10 years ago, he began a tradition of hosting an annual Christmas luncheon for about 15 friends. They were mostly his childhood friends he grew up with in Memorial. But then a couple of us from the oil industry merited being invited to this luncheon. I don't know why. We're just great guys, I guess, me and Dick Bishop and Steve Hill from our group. And after Larry passed away, of course, we were pretty much devastated. But his sons, James and David, decided to continue the tradition. So we had another Christmas luncheon this year. And we decided as we were walking into the room, into the restaurant, that if each of us put up $50, you know, we could probably raise $1,000 for scholarship night. So we proposed that after we'd been drinking for a while, which was another part of the tradition. We raised $3,550 for tonight. and we present that in Larry's memory. Now, Larry had an incredibly dry and I guess you'd say extroverted sense of humor. Remember that. And if I could only tell him, he had the donation to Scholarship Night in his name was the largest amount of money, only exceeded by Chevron's contribution. He would get a real charge out of that. So anyway, I remember Larry. I think it also raises another interesting way to scholarship money. People, I think we could do raises of this nature in memory of some of our key people when the time is appropriate, and it's a great way to remember people, and they were people who really were supportive of this event. So thank you. What I am going to do now is we'll begin our presentation portion of the event, and I am the chairman of the Calvert Board. The Calvert Board is the HGS component that administers graduate scholarships. And we have a trust fund that was established by Warren Calvert from which we award our graduate scholarships. And then the HGS Foundation awards undergraduate scholarships. And we have very significant programs, and I'd like to invite, first of all, I'd like to invite the board members from Calvert to stand when I call your name, and let you give them a round of applause. Nicole Villarreal is my vice chairman. She's in the back. Judy Schulenberg is our secretary. And Judy is our primary contact person to our students. And then Dick Bishop is our longtime, very esteemed and skilled treasurer. He's in charge of the money, and he's been doing a great job of that. And finally, our board has one ex officio member every year, and that's a person appointed by the president of HGS, and it's usually the president-elect, and that's Walter Light. Walter's here someplace, I believe. So we administer those funds. So now I would like to invite Nicole and Judy to come up. And Nicole's going to talk about a little bit more about the Calvert Foundation and some of the things we've done in the past. And then Judy will introduce our Calvert Memorial Scholarship recipients this year. And we'd ask each of you, as your name and school are called out, to come up here and stand up. And now you're not going to get a check tonight. The foundation people get a check. We've already given you your money. But we would like to get a photograph, and we'd like to just congratulate you on winning. And I did get asked one question I have a specific answer to. You cannot get your scholarship money going forward in cryptocurrency. So don't even bring that up.
I'm not as tall as everyone else. Hi everyone, I'm Nicole Villarreal, and as Jeff so kindly introduced, I am on the Calvert Memorial Fund. The full name of this fund is actually the Warren and Florence Calvert Memorial Fund. It was started in 1974 when Warren Calvert donated $8,000 in telephone bonds because he realized how hard it was to support himself and his family in graduate school while he was trying to get a job and finish his studies. He named his wife in the fund too because we do a lot of stuff too. So he graduated in 1929. He had a long and storied career. He worked at the Ohio Fuel and Gas Corporation, worked in the Illinois Basin, worked at Phillips, and eventually came to Houston for Weaver Oil and Gas, which is where he retired. The fund, as I said, was started in 1974, but in 1978, the first award was given, and that was $1,000 to a student at the University of Arkansas. Since 2022, this year, we've given over $720,000 to students at 27 universities. I think his goal of helping graduate students in particular with all the difficulties that they have, and especially with COVID, I know we talked a lot about the board and a lot of what these students have had to go through, and we were just really happy to be able to help in any way possible this year. We have given 17 scholarships this year to worthy and deserving candidates, and my co-committee member, Judy Schulenberg, is going to introduce them.
This is the funnest part of the whole thing because I get to try to establish connections with various universities, with the advisors and with the students. But the absolute most fun is that I get to send out the checks. So everyone's always very eager to talk to me. As I call your name, you will see the list up here. Those with the red asterisk could not be here. But as your name is called, please come up. Allison Barbado, Louisiana State University. Edgar Contreras, University of Houston, could not be here. Mary Campos, Stephen F. Austin University. Sydney Dan Train, Texas A&M University. Nicholas Dusek could not be here. He is also from Texas A&M. Leah Evans, A&M. Molly McCrary, also A&M. Syed Musavi, Rice University. I believe he was planning to be here, but obviously something came up. Lin Wynn, University of Houston, could not be here. Eric Peavy, Texas A&M. Richard Robinette, Louisiana State University, could not be with us. Lyser Silva, Colorado School of Mines. Jamie Singer, Stephen F. Austin. Haley Borson, Colorado School of Mines, could not be here. Roger Tracy, Texas Tech, could not be here. And last but certainly not least, Janelle Limper, Texas A&M University. Please give a round of applause for all these deserving students.
I think we should recognize Art Donovan as our premier professor in recruiting.
Can't be here is Stella Potemkin from Rice University, where she's a junior, and she's kind of doing a interesting title degree that's partly in earth, environmental and planetary science and partly in social policy analysis. And what she'd like to do is have a career that intersects policy at a high level and geology. Now she's got a reasonable excuse for not being here today, and because she's in Chile, which is a long way south of here. Yes, it's tough for some. While she's in Chile, she's on a field school down there. She's hoping to kind of use that information that she picks up in Chile to help her in the rest of her career. So we'll move on now to Texas A&M and Konstantin Stolis, who's a junior there, majoring in geology with a minor in GIS. And he's worked on some of the ocean drilling cores, which I know there's a lot of work on those done in A&M. Additionally, he's working with Dr. Ryan Ewing and creating maps of study areas in Iceland using some of his GIS skills. We've got an astronaut connection here. There's a couple of astronaut connections, which is something that we never used to see in the old days, but seems to be a favorite now. So he's a member of the Aggie Astronaut Corps, where he learned the different facets of space exploration, and following his graduation he wants to pursue a PhD in planetary geology. So very ambitious life ahead of him. So Konstantin, if you'd like to come forward. So the next one is a exceptional award. It's the Bazinski Award, and the Bazinski Award is something that was new last year in honor of Paul Bazinski. This is to the candidate that exhibits the most personal and scholastic growth, rising above barriers to succeed. And this year it's to Stephen Ramirez from the University of Houston, where he's doing geology and geophysics. He is a member of the Geosociety organization, and is another one of these people that are interested in space. So he participated in the 2020 NASA Mission Concept Academy, learning mission procedures and protocols from industry professionals. So obviously another one with very, very high aspirations. He's been involved in research projects which include reconstructing the plate tectonics around the Pacific Basin, and wants to pursue a graduate degree in geology when he graduates. So Stephen, if you would like to come forward? And the final award is the Maybe Award, which goes to the highest overall ranked student each year. And this year we're very pleased to see that it's from a student from Stephen F. Austin University to Brennan Laidi. Brennan's maintained a very consistent 4.0 GPA and has been on the president's list every semester. He's currently working with Dr. Michael Reed on undergraduate research concerning carbonate microfacies of the middle Pennsylvania to lower Permian up in British Columbia in Canada. And following his graduation, he's looking forward to attend graduate school. So, Brennan, if you'd like to step forward. So we'd also like to acknowledge the faculty that are accompanying from Stephen F. Austin. And there may be two others whose names I don't know, but if you are here, please stand up and be recognized. Okay. Okay, with that, we'll thank you very much, and we'll leave these students to enjoy their checks.